Is it possible to get a big back with only one exercise? Is it really possible? If the pandemic, prison workouts, and calisthenics bros have taught us anything, the answer is yes. There is only one exercise I've ever done that has given me explosive back growth. I am of course talking about pull-ups, more specifically weighted pull-ups. In a world where people are obsessed with optimal training, God of Riz, it is a breath of fresh air to see a dude doing weighted pull-ups in the gym. It's a classic and for good reason. Many of your favorite influencers and bodybuilders got big backs using this exercise. I see a lot of goofy ass back training in my gym. Wherever you go, you'll see these like optimal one arm back exercises. They're biomechanically better for gains. I'm not even saying these are bad exercises. I've dabbled in them myself. But to build your foundation, the meat of your back, we need a return to simplicity, and it does not get more simple than pull-ups. On paper, it might be a shittier exercise, not as optimal as an iliac pull down, but goddammit, it will get you jacked. They are a really potent compound movement. That's what most of you need. You don't need to isolate your lower lat, you just need a fucking shotgun blast to your back and biceps. They are used by beginner and advanced lifters alike. A lot of these guys that are on this new wave of optimal still built their backs using weighted pull-ups all those years ago. If you took away all your other back exercises, replaced it with this movement and got really good at them, you'd still be able to build a really incredible back. And this is exactly what many people did during COVID when there was no access to gyms. Your training might suck or seem super simple, but pull-ups are just so potent that it really could work. They can be trained heavy in a low rep range by adding weight. They can be trained for high reps by using body weight. It's very rare to find a person that finds bodyweight pull-ups too easy. You mean to tell me you can do 25 to 30 reps clean, full ROM for multiple sets? You probably can't, let's be real. And if you can you do it with a harder variation like wide grip or pausing at the bottom? There's so much potential to get jacked even with just bodyweight pull-ups. The gym bros you see doing pull-ups in the gym usually won't really push it. They'll do a couple easy sets of 10 and call it a day, turning it basically into pump work. If you take them seriously, you are virtually guaranteed to have a big back. You might be wondering to yourself, what's the difference between lat pull downs and pull-ups? Aren't they kind of the same? Why not just do lat pull downs? I'm gonna be honest, I don't really have a good answer for that. There are some minor differences between the two, but I would say that weighted pull-ups look and feel cooler, and because of that, you're probably more likely to stick to it and train hard. It's like if I told you can never bench press again, you can only do weighted push-ups. It's fine, I guess, your chest will still grow, but you probably wouldn't push it with intensity. Although, if you can do a lot of weight on the lat pull down, it does feel pretty cool. Basically, if you pull something from above towards you enough times with enough weight, your back will get really jacked. We've established that weighted pull-ups are fire, but how do you go about doing them? If you can't even do one pull-up, you're a noob, that's okay. I have some recommendations. Start with the lat pull down and assisted pull-up machine. Obviously, you can go lighter than your body weight. Use this to build up strength in your lats and biceps. In addition, do negatives where you jump to the top and slowly control the eccentric. These will build strength as well. You can even try a variation where you pause for a few seconds before you start lowering. It can take you anywhere from 1 month to 1 year to do your first pull-up. But once you get there, what's next? I recommend adding weight only once you can do about 8 reps. So how do you build from 1 rep to 8? Just keep doing the machines, slowly getting stronger at those. In terms of regular pull-ups, you could just do some basic strength work, 3 sets of 2, 3 sets of 3. Just build up until you can do 8 reps eventually. One thing I did was grease the groove, meaning you just practice pull-ups every day and get really skilled at the movement. I had a pull-up bar at home. Every time I walked by, I just did 1 pull-up. This helped me accumulate like 50 pull-ups every single day. You can also do the same thing at the gym. Just make sure you hit a pull-up every 2 or 3 minutes, maybe during your rest break or something. This isn't enough to fatigue you or anything, but it will help you get the reps in. Eventually, once you can do 8 reps of regular pull-ups, maybe for multiple sets, you move on to weighted pull-ups. You can do weighted pull-ups using dumbbells by just holding them between your legs, but obviously this isn't the best. What you want to do is get yourself a dip belt. It'll cost 20 or 30 bucks. It's not a big investment, bro. This will keep the weight stable and allow you to focus on the set rather than holding the weight. A really underrated tip that has worked well for me is to use a dumbbell as a seat. I always get a 25-pound dumbbell and just sit on it in between my sets. It allows the weight to rest on the floor without taking off the belt. Straps can be used as well if you feel your grip too much. I've never really had to use them on pull-ups. I mostly just use them on lat pull-downs. I like to train weighted pull-ups once, maybe twice a week. But if you're gonna go twice a week, make sure you use 2 different grips or 2 different rep ranges. Generally, when I'm doing pull-ups, I like to go below 10 reps. I'll save the higher rep ranges for lat pull-downs. Lat pull-downs can be really great as well. You can do them after your pull-ups or you could do them on a separate day. It all really depends how you program the rest of your back work. Just make sure you treat them as serious as the pull-ups and always try to progress. A basic double progression works really well. If you're doing 3 sets of 5 to 8, stick with the same weight, increasing reps until you can do all your sets at 8. When you do increase the weight, only add 5 pounds. When I first started, I made the mistake of increasing 10 pounds at a time because I was impatient. Don't do this because it'll cause you to plateau sooner. My favorite pull-up is just the standard medium grip. I feel like this gives you the best of everything: lats, biceps, upper back. I also really like the close neutral for extra lats. These two are my favorite pull-ups. Chin-ups are great for a little bit extra biceps. Wide grip is also really fun as well. They're super hard and they hit more of the upper back. If you're cutting, you can expect your strength to increase faster because you're physically losing body weight. But even if you're bulking, you can and should still be making progress. That's the position I'm in right now. I'm bulking, but I'm still able to eke out a little bit of gains every week. Even when you're bulking, you should continue doing weighted pull-ups because when you cut, your strength is just gonna skyrocket. Now we get to the fun part, strength standards. If you do the routine I mentioned, a really good metric to aim for is anywhere from 20 to 50 pounds. This will get you to turtle shell status. You will look really good. I give a pretty broad range because it also depends a lot on body weight. If you weigh only 150 pounds, you're gonna need to get on the higher end of the range to see the lat gains you're looking for. Versus if you're super heavy, you can probably get by just doing body weight pull-ups and getting stronger at those. 50 to 90 pounds for 3 sets of 8 is the next tier of weighted pull-up strength where you really get those eagle wings. Again, you have to take total body weight into account. You lighter guys should be aiming for the higher end of this range. Anyone that can hit 2 plates for 3 sets of 8 is a fucking baller. I don't care how light you are, that is impressive. I went back to this video from my channel 3 years ago during COVID when I was doing 55 pounds for 4 sets of 6. That's right around what I could do now. You might be thinking, what the fuck? You made no gains in 3 years. Why do I even listen to you? Except there's a caveat. In that video, I weighed 173. Now I weigh 206. So if you look at the total weight, it's very obvious that gains were made, and it reflects in my physique. I'm much bigger now. Of course, if you want to build a complete and developed back, you need to do your rows and your deadlifts. This will build more of the thickness.